All right, I think I got this. And all right, it looks like we are going live now. Patreon member shout out. Well, he walked up to me and he asked me if I wanted to dance. He looked kind of nice, and so I said I might take a chance. When he danced, he held me tight. And when he walked me home that night, all the stars were shining so bright. And then he kissed me. I know that had some homoerotic undertones there. Did not mean anything like that, Dan. And did not mean anything by that, deadly. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi and hello to Dan Lee. She starts to shake this without me. I hope somebody makes that a meme.
Yeah, I hope not. I really hope you'll avoid that. But it's cool. It's cool.
Did you have any memes made of you yet?
If there are, I don't know about them, which is probably good because I'm kind of sensitive.
There were a few made of me back in the Earth 2 days. One was I forget what it was. One was because I used to meow. I still meow at the beginning and end of my streams. And someone's like, "Oh, the Earth 2 devs have hit the snooze button on their alarms." But don't worry, here comes Randy going meow meow like the cat. Oh, all right, that was good. That was pretty clever. I had one of Tap's trades. I don't know what I did with it. It was somebody went and they photoshopped him just like a weird and Yoda was like that, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was in the background. It was pretty good. I don't know what I did with it. So the last few people on the podcast was my friend Susan Thompson, Master Sergeant Justin Bright, Dr. Kate Goldstein, and you are kind of a mixture of both as military and medical background, and you are a nurse practitioner now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and the amount of schooling for that, how many years?
Technically 4 years undergrad, maybe 2 to 3 years to get your master's.
Oh, so you're pretty much a doctor.
I don't like saying that, but I can at least do basic doctor functions. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of school. And did you go straight from the military to school, or did you start in the military?
Yeah, so I already had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. After I got out of the military, I did some courses online and stuff like that to finish up my bachelor's. And I realized I couldn't do anything with criminal justice, so really I had to find some other profession, so I chose nursing. So I did it all over again, got an associate's, got a bachelor's, went straight to my master's, did it in actually not very long, 5 years. So that's pretty decent. Yeah.
So is there no crime in Oklahoma, and that's why you can't use the criminal justice degree? There's just no guilty people there.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that you kind of are pigeonholed into being like a correctional officer, a police officer, and that's really nothing I ever really wanted to do ever.
Oh, so for a corrections officer, and do you need to have a criminal justice degree?
I don't think so, but I think it's nice to have, there's no set job that you getting a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So you kind of have to fend for yourself, to find a job or do something with it. I thought about maybe law school, but I realized the average lawyer makes 50 grand and school costs 120,000, so if you're a top lawyer, you'll make six figures, $1 million. But if you're average, you're not going to make a whole lot typically. Oh
man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Whenever I think lawyers, and they get so much money. They get you just get the fees, and they get even before then. I'm thinking the high end. You ever see the show Billions?
Yeah, I love that show. Great show.
Where they're making $1,000 an hour. It's just I mean, they're working for billionaires. So that makes sense. But what was your job in the military, in the Army?
Yeah, so I was a signals intelligence analyst. So at 35 November. So what
you're a smart cookie.
I'm not that smart, you know what I mean? But school-wise maybe, but anyways, so, that job basically technically is you listen to signals. So that could be I don't know how much I should say, but maybe cell phone traffic, cell phone traffic, radio, everything like that. And any sort of communication can be intercepted. So just throwing that out there. So we would kind of collect this information and either create reports, just kind of depending on what our unit needed. So I worked core level. So I didn't even do that, the cool stuff. I just made a bunch of PowerPoints to brief generals and high-level decision makers. So that's what I did. It sounds sexy, but really it ends up being reading a bunch of stuff, making PowerPoints, and then people getting bronze stars for having a really awesome PowerPoint. You know, it's kind of ridiculous at core level, you know.
I have heard that a lot of time is spent on deciding what type of font is used for the PowerPoints, because like, oh, maybe this is too aggressive for this general. And is that true?
Yeah, I mean, you know, so one guy, he got a bronze star because he made this really cool PowerPoint. And
Yeah.
basically there was all these political parties in Iraq, and you know, this was a political
Oh,
analysis unit. So basically you can kind of click on the political party and kind of get a general gist of where that party is, what they are in relation to us, you know, are we allies or not? So someone
that
got a
is cool.
bronze star for that, without valor, obviously, but you know,
Yeah, but
still.
um, I'm trying to think. You ever get coined in the military, where we had any any
Yeah,
higher ups give a coin? I
yeah.
had a
So
few of those. What was yours?
I had one from General Odinero. He came by and gave me this massive. He gave all of us coins. Basically, we
Oh, okay.
all on the line. He just gives us coins, shakes our hand, says what a great job we're doing, and it was a pretty nice coin. It was big size. It looked like a shield, and it was kind of cool actually.
Nice. The
Yeah.
Captain America shield. Someone down there just commented like, "Was Dan studying to be Batman?" as the criminal justice. Speaking of Batman, do you have, as far as the NFTs, do you collect those? Do you collect just Batman, just Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah,
What do you
I just collect things I like, and I
Mhm.
try not to buy the whole sets. I'm not a huge collector, but my most recent one was the Borg Cube. I bought that for like 110 bucks.
Nice, same.
Gems
I bought,
worth.
yeah, I bought two of them because they were sold out. It's like, oh, I can get one. I got one on the rebound, and then it's like, oh wait. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I should have waited because they're selling for like 70 bucks on the market right now. But you know, it's whatever. I like being part of the experience. You know.
Yeah. Hi, smooches. Did you see the floor on the comics that just came out?
Yeah, it's going up.
Yeah.
Really crazy, actually.
Yeah, I sold my comic. I just had a common one. It was for like 125. Like, okay, well, I might as well make 10x on my money. It's $7, and it's for 125. I think they took $10 or something. So like 112, 115, something like that. Because I'm not really because the comics. I don't know if the word is like bougie or whatever, but I am. If you collect the comics and you get a whole set, it doesn't count towards your sets
Right.
in like in the completed sets. I was like, all right. So I've been selling a few of those. Probably should have saved it for the giveaway on Sunday. Having a big. I haven't made an actual video for this yet. I think you might have mentioned it. Taps mentioned it as well. I'm gonna do a big giveaway on Sunday for Earth 2 tiles, NFTs on Vivi, because I just hit 4,000 subscribers. I'm in your arena right now. If we fusion Ha, we'll be really close to we'll be really close to Taps, who just got 10,000. It's amazing. At what point? I mean, going through so much schools, probably make a decent amount of money. At what point, though, whether Omi gets a certain amount or you get a certain amount of subscribers, we'd be like, "Hey, babe, I don't want to work anymore," and like, will she say yes?
Yeah, so our ultimate vision is she's a physician assistant, so she does a job very similar to me, and I actually got her a job at our clinic system, and the goal with that is that she's going to be working part time. So she's already transitioning from full time work to part time, just to take care of the family, and that's kind of her dream. And so our next phase is for me to go part time, and I don't know when that'll happen because I enjoy work, but probably when all our bills are paid off and maybe I have another stream of income, whether that's from Omi or whether that's from the YouTube channel, I can probably transition to go part-time as well. And we can still have a great lifestyle, with having a lot of time. So, because ultimately my goal is to be financially free so I can do whatever I want, whether that's actual work or maybe something else like YouTube.
Oh, very good. I was wondering about that because like, all right, well, I know you have how many kids do you have? Yeah, one kid,
One.
and how many do you guys want?
Two or three.
Okay, so
Yep.
do you kind of want to have all right, well, here's for your college, here's for your, next college if you want, or is it just like, hey, do what I just go in the military and just not
Yeah.
worry about
I mean, I don't really put too much pressure on myself on that regard because I think, even if you save a reasonable amount, you can probably send your kids to a state school. So I want to have at least some budgeted enough for them to go to state school, whether that's going to community college first.
it?
I believe that you can still get a great education going the cheap route, going to community college, going to a state school. if they want to go to Harvard, then they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to take out loans or like go to the military route. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think as long as you, I mean, I don't want to say you don't have to go to college, but you go to college, if you spend like all 4 years in like a library, you'll be like the smartest person wherever you go. I don't think that really matters. But I think it's just about the prestige. It's like, oh, I went to an Ivy League school. I myself went to one semester of community college in Long Island. So I am very proud of that. And the college, where did you go to school?
University of Oklahoma. So nothing fancy,
Okay. Was it like a party school, or you just like you were older because you were in the military, you just didn't really
Yeah, so I right out of high school, I actually went straight there because it was just kind of it was kind of my safety school. I wanted to get into some programs in California, but didn't end up happening. So, I just settled on my safety school, which really in hindsight, that was kind of a blessing. I think I would have done horrible at California. I would have wasted so much more money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I had we have a Dancing Nidorina, who I love the name. Like you're into Pokemon, right?
Kinda.
Okay, so there's Dancing Nidorina, who's the evolved form of Nidoran, the female one. She said that she's also applying to be a PA at PA schools. Any advice for people trying to go your route, the medical route, or their route, doing what your wife does, or like as far as applying to schools, or just say like, nah, fam, just take out loans, buy more Omi, and then and then just go to school.
Well, I'm actually, in hindsight, looking back on my life, I realize there's so much more opportunity for people now who don't have to go to school, right? There's a lot of trade schools if you want to do that. There's even a lot of online programs, like Google will pay for you to learn like a trade, basically.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's jobs you can do that don't require really any education. Even coding boot camps you can kind of do and get a good job out of that if you're motivated. So, but to answer the question, I guess, if you're interested in PA school, the first things first, you need a good GPA. Like that's just kind of the way they weed people out is you got to have at least probably like a 3.5 to be competitive. So it doesn't really matter too much what your bachelor's degree is in, just as long as your GPA is like 3.5 and you have like the prereq classes. So after that, get some good shadowing experience. That's usually pretty easy to obtain. Just get the hours. And then interview prep. Interview is like that next phase where if you suck at interviews, you're not going to get in the program either. But the great thing is that if you interviewing and practicing, that's really the best way to get really great at an interview. That's a very trainable skill. So you just got to do dozens upon dozens of interviews. So no matter how introverted or shy you are, if you do enough interview prep, you're going to shine really well. So then that's the next kind of phase there. So I think if you have the GPA and do well in an interview, you can eventually get into any program in the US.
Okay, so when is the Dan Lee masterclass on interviewing coming out? What do you because it seems to be something that you probably specialize in your experience, like this is what to look out for, what not to look out for, that type of deal.
Actually, we've thought about something. I don't know what it would look like because my wife and I, we have interviewed our friends and family going into professional schools, med school, pharmacy school, nursing, PA. And every person we have interviewed, prepped with them, they've all gotten in. So we have 100% pass rate so far. And
oh, nice.
And to be honest, that's probably not us, right? It's probably the type of person that is looking to do interview prep with other people is the type of person that's also going to do well in school and also get into a program. So I don't think it's us. It's just the type of people that would even ask us to help them,
But that's that's you got some nice clout there. 100% pass rate for everyone that we did. I don't know if that could be say like, oh, this person wants to train with us, but I could tell right off the bat they're probably not getting in, so I don't want to take them on.
Yeah, obviously you could be selective in your clientele, right? But it's nice to say.
Yeah, and you were saying before that you were doing kind of like a review on your life and like what it could have done differently. And I know you did say that I don't know if you sold one or both or two of your rental properties.
Yeah.
How many do you have in total, or did you have, and how many are you selling, and how much of the proceeds are going to Omi percentage wise?
Yeah, so I have about 4 properties. 2 I've sold already. So what we talked about last time, those couple months ago, it actually happened. So it took that long and that's how long a real estate transaction takes. So, I would say probably about 50% of those proceeds, like a lot of the profit, is going to go towards Omi. And probably the rest, I don't know if I'll just put towards student loans or do something else. Maybe have it as a reserve. I really believe in having some reserve money. You know, what happens if Omi just crumps to 0.0005? I mean, that would be a great buying opportunity. You know?
I'm out of things to sell. I sold a lot of my Bitcoin. I sold most of my Pokemon cards. I don't know if BV Darklink is here. We had a deal. Like, I have a first edition Neo Genesis box, and it was worth like 30. But it was the cheapest on eBay was like 37.5. So we agreed like 35.5 for that, and he would pay an Omi. Like, that's like one of the last things that I could be able to go and buy, just because of sell, just because of Omi's. I'm running out of things to do, running out of things to sell. But how long did you have those properties for? Did you have them for like 10 years, or they're recent?
Yeah, these are all recent acquisitions. So I got all these. Well, one was my primary residence, and we moved to a different city in Oklahoma. So that automatically became a rental. And I had owned that house since 2014, used the GI Bill. No, not GI Bill. The VA home loan. Yeah, to get that. So almost no money down, just pay fees.
Oh, so is that because you've had it for a few years? Do you have a lot of equity in that house?
Yeah.
And is that one that you sold?
Yeah, I didn't put any money down on that. So I ended up coming away with a lot of equity. Plus, we had a hailstorm hit that house, and we got like $11,000 payout for that. So the equity combined with the payout, I mean, that was a good sale, you know, for me. And my other property, which was kind of a crap property, had a lot of problems. I actually made a small amount of profit, but my worry was that I would sink so much of my capital into that to get it fixed up and ready for sale, and I didn't have to actually put almost any money into it. So basically, I got out of that house, that problem property.
Okay. So would you say, like, oh no, my heavily insured home is going into peril? Its hail is going down. Is there, outside of hailstorms, do you guys get tornadoes there? You probably don't get hurricanes, right?
Yeah, we don't get hurricanes, but we get tornadoes a lot. And, you know, Norman, Moore, Oklahoma, that place has been hit and even devastated the past 2 decades. So, I mean, honestly, I remember when it hit that area, I was driving through actually, and it looked worse than Iraq. It looked like it was a bombed out Iraq, basically. And it was just kind of shocking. But, you know, really quickly, a couple of years, they were able to fix that up. No problems. It doesn't even look like there's any damage there. But, yeah, when a big tornado goes through your town or your home, it's gonna wreck stuff. So,
geez, yeah. When I was interviewing Master Sergeant Justin Bright about it, he's like, and it's probably this way for you. It's probably even worse because, you know, Army is that the camps are usually not as built up as Air Force fields, the airfields over there, because Air Force is a little more uppity, like country club. Did you have like a gym when you were there over in Iraq? I know, where were you, like Arakan, or where you at?
Camp Victory, Baghdad. So, and also like Camp Slayer, but they're all part of like the same complex. But yeah, there was a lot of gyms actually, and you know, it's surrounded by the T walls and air conditioned up with nice fancy tents. So it was great actually, because by the time I got there, it was very built up. 2009, 2010. So if you went in there in 2006 or something, that would have probably been,
It's just bare bones, just nothing.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine it's like almost nothing. But by the time I got there, it was like, I mean, really, it was an easy deployment. I mean,
nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
Bruin88 and a couple of other people are wondering, how do I convince my wife to put more into Ecomi? She agreed to 2,000. What I did, and I'd love to hear your thing on this. I told my girlfriend, hey, listen, I feel really good about this. I'm going to put all my money in it, and if it fails, I might have to move in with you. I'm going to have to go back to work, and I'm going to go like back to zero if it fails. So that's what I told her, and she agreed. But how did you tell your wife, like, hey, I'm going to put a lot of this money into Omi?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I guess she doesn't care about our investments too much. Like, she has these little caveats that, like, we have to have a certain amount in our nest egg or our savings account for emergencies, and it's actually a large amount of money. It's like ridiculously large. And I want to actually put a lot of that money into Omi because I feel like if I sold everything liquid and put it into Omi, I might be able to get about 50 million Omi, and that would be great. But
Oh, nice.
But because my wife doesn't want to do that, she has certain caveats. I have to kind of abide by that. So I guess maybe just tell your significant other your vision, and if they believe you and you have a good healthy relationship, she should understand, he or she, and whatever their caveats are, just follow that, and then you should be fine. And if they don't like investing, then that's kind of a problem. You have to choose between your investment or your love life. So difficult.
So you're saying lose the dead weight and divorce your significant other if they don't follow you.
I think if you're in an unhealthy relationship and you have to choose between Omi and the unhealthy relationship, you might want to lean a certain direction, right?
You heard it here first, everybody. Single's the way to go. I mean, I guess just that, some people talk about life-changing money and wife-changing money. I mean, if you're looking out the door already and Dancing Negrina's laughing, it's not a burrito, Abe McGee. This is a chicken chipotle melt. Only $1. You get a lot of chicken. You get a lot of sauce in here. So it's pretty good. So Danley, you said the other day that you were going to get back into the gym. I see you eating oatmeal. So are you doing like a diet for what reason? Just to be healthier? You're doing like an Omi calendar shoot? What are you doing?
Yeah, like for me, like health is all about long-term health, right? I don't want to have these chronic diseases that a lot of my patients have where, their life at 50, 60, 70 is horrible because they didn't take care of themselves. They did, recreational substances, or they smoked a bunch of cigarettes, so for me, it's about feeling good. Like it's like the health span instead of the lifespan. It's feeling good for as long as possible. So that means kind of just exercising in a way, eating in a way that sustains you long term, getting rid of bad habits. So that's my view. Like my weight, I've never had trouble cutting weight. I've never been, like obese or anything like that. Thankfully, that's all genes. But my view is just exercising in a way that makes me feel good about myself,
So when you said, I just want to, or see if you have made the distinction, you said recreational substances, like I'm guessing like weed, alcohol, and like Coke is in one category, and then like mushrooms and DMT and LSD is in another. Would you say those, like, some are definitely worse for you than others?
Yeah. I would definitely say some is worse. Like meth, for example. Like, have you ever seen those pictures of someone, beautiful woman, and then 2 years later uses meth, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like
Dude, that's so sad.
It is.
I see that with a lot of people. A lot of people I went to school with, just people in general that were just like, and I hate to sound vain, but also it is more of a health like concern thing where people just, they look so good, and then a few years later it's like, ooh, like what happened? And hopefully it's not drugs, hopefully it's something they can fix. But in your heyday, in between like the military and school, before you had a family or whatever, you ever try any acid? Ever try any LSD or mushrooms?
I don't want to talk about that because I'm in the healthcare field, so I don't want to talk about that history there. But I had a really wide college experience. Just put it that way.
Nice. If you were to go in, or if a patient were to come in, and I don't know how much like psychology or psychiatrist training that you have, but if they were to come in and be like, hey, I am super depressed, and I am, all these medications I've been taking have not been working, or if they do work, they make me like super tired and cloudy, and I just don't feel anything. And you talk to like their psychiatrist about it or whatever. Have you had any psychiatrists or anyone ever say in the medical field, like, this might actually be good for depression? Try like microdosing on LSD or mushrooms. Is that being studied like at your hospital, or are you working with anyone that has those type of experiences with their patients?
Yeah, so there's two types of kind of systems in medicine. One is more the academic system that maybe studies that, and then there's like the guys like me that just practice based off kind of the guidelines. So we're never going to do anything too experimental like that. I'm sure there's psychiatrists who believe in that, but if it's not widely accepted practice, then it could be labeled as malpractice. So that's why no one is ever going to say something like that. Like if you ever get sued, like let's say you were like, oh, you should do this microdosing on LSD, and then they like have a seizure and die. Their family could sue you and win because not only did they have damage, they died, but it's not the accepted standard of care. So it has to become standard care before you'll see people like me doing something like that.
That's a
So
good point.
yeah, but they'll study it in academia and they'll have studies, and I'm sure people do well, but no one's going to go out of their way to do something like that. Why would you?
So at what point does it become like, there's a couple of studies, but not general practice, and consider malpractice? At what point does it get, okay, there's enough literature on this to say like, and enough scientific studies done and say like, I'm comfortable with trying this out with one of my patients to see if it's working?
Yeah, they say there's a saying that it takes about 10 to 20 years from something that's written in the literature to actually be used in practice. So theoretically, there's probably a lot of information out there for different things, different disease processes that could work. That's never going to be used until people have to take chances, and no one wants to take a chance, right? No one wants to get sued and things like that. So
also that was my mistake. Somebody said, yeah, I did not mean to put like marijuana and coke in the same category. My brain just wanted to separate most other things from psychedelics and all that. Have you had any patients that had like long-term damage from psychedelics?
Yeah, that's not, yeah. I do more family practice, so I never see cases like that. But I've never met someone that's been totally destroyed through psychedelics. And even I hear it's an interesting experience.
Great.
And I feel like, because I met some friends that did that, and then they always talk about how they had this like they were almost talking to like the creator or like God or something like that. And I think that would be really interesting to have that experience, even if it's not real, or maybe it is real, who knows? Let's just assume it's not real. I mean, it still could be life-changing. And that's what some of the articles say, they have a different perception of life after just one kind of LSD experience.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The ones at LSD, they'll definitely make me think like super. I like to think I'm relatively open-minded in general, but then they make me like really think outside the box. Like, oh, this is good. And part of the reason why I decided to go and sell a lot of my stuff. I mean, not even recently. I mean, like, a few months ago, was because I'm thinking like, oh, if I go and do this and it fails, I can always make more money. But if I go and do this and it succeeds, which I'm mostly sure it will, just talking about Omi and the Ecomi, then it will. I could help a lot more people, and I would be doing the animals and future people and whatever a big disservice if I did not go in all this way. So I guess you can say that it makes you a little more ballsy, makes you a little more adventurous, but it also makes me want to care too. Like all I want to do is just hang around with friends, listen to good music, drink a little bit, like a soft rain. Going to concerts is really fun on it too. Like that's really exciting. Somebody over here says that he microdoses his son for depression and anxiety. Hoping that's done under a doctor. But yeah, microdosing I've heard is really good if you're in like a lot of people in Silicon Valley do it, or writers do it. Not doing crazy amounts, but small amounts. What is something that you only do in small amounts? Because I don't do that. If I go, I'm going hard on something. Whether it be like investing or it be reading, limit yourself to binging Netflix.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, YouTube, I feel like I'm going hard on. Like I've made quite a bit of like videos, and some of them are crap and stuff like that. But like when I get passionate about something, I'll spend a lot of time on. And games are kind of a big thing. Like if there's a game that really hits a certain chord in my being, like I will spend hours, 40 to 50 hours, like in a few days, just like playing this game or like things like that. Now in terms of substances, I used to be a smoker. So, like tobacco. And so I've quit since, but I have to be careful because even if I smoke one cigar, that's enough for me to like, okay, now I got to really resist smoking another, because I just do it every single day. And it's like, I get addicted very quickly to even something like that. So
people are talking about different parties, and there's no actual set. Like I said 10-cent party in New York. People saying like either 20 or 25-cent party in Vegas. When we go out there, would you be comfortable doing an Ecomi calendar shoot? Me, you, Tab Trades, some of the ladies of Vivi. Would you be comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
Yeah,
we're gonna get it with
I
a shirt
will.
off. We're gonna get a shirt off, everybody. No, it's a bigger excuse to diet now.
Yeah.
I got you to that. It's on recording.
Actually, did you watch the Women's of VV stream?
I didn't yet. There's been so many stuff coming out.
Okay.
I love that. But
Well,
yeah,
like there was like 9 women there, and I mentioned this. I was like, you guys should have a Women of VV, like a tame PG version, but you guys should have a Women of VV calendar and just like either sell that, donate the proceeds to charity, or maybe that does really, really well. You just need like 3 more women. You know what I mean?
they're
That'd be
all
cool.
really pretty too, so
Yeah.
that would sell out like very quickly. That'd be really good. And then I guess if you want to, like me, Taps, and Reese could be the substitute 3 women because we have longer hair. Honestly, just a Reese calendar in general, like he's a thirst trap.
That's what someone was saying in the comments too. They're like, well, you guys said, there's 10 females, but I hear a male voice, and they're like talking about Reese. I just thought that was hilarious. I mean, I think he's a pretty man. You know what I mean? It's no homo or anything, but
yeah, no, he's great. I mean, also just because he's just so knowledgeable at what he does, seems to have a passion for what he does. It's very good at what he does. There was, I forget who it was. I think it was Crypto Rain. Crypto Rain was you know who he is?
No.
He's like an older, not old, but older, is like maybe in his 40s, maybe 50s, and he made a lot of his money in crypto, and this is what he does. And he's not like an Omi YouTuber. He just makes a bunch of crypto videos, and some of the videos that he does are on Omi. And he said that Reese was the reason why he went in, because he was kind of okay, like there's something I could invest in, up until he saw Reese, like this guy doesn't look professional. He's young. He's like, don't know if they made a mistake. And then he heard him on the AMAs, like, oh, this guy knows his stuff. Let me go and invest. What was your point when you're just like, okay, this is something I need to put money into? What was the one thing that threw you over the edge?
Yeah, so I think I talked about this before, but Andre Jick was really pivotal, and for me to even just investigate it. And I was kind of on the fence and stuff like that, but I think hearing Dan Crothers talk and then like his vision of like a Ready Player One type metaverse was really big for me, because I'm really interested in something like that. And Reese, to a certain extent, he's very intelligent, so that's good stuff too. But I think for me, it was the Marvel reveal. It just made me realize that this is real. It's not like a lie. They're not hiding it. They successfully got Marvel as a license, and I think that's huge, because to me, Marvel has already done a lot of the due diligence for us. We don't have to dig too much deeper, because they've done it for us. If they're partnered with Vivi, that means it's got to be pretty reasonable chance of success, a good chance of success.
So you didn't put in before Marvel. That was when you decided, oh, this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I put in here and there, but I was concerned, just like everyone else, I was concerned about why it was dipping. Objectively, I could say, I know maybe why I think it will eventually go up, but I'm always concerned when something is going down. I put more money and it keeps going down. And man, even when it hit like 0.0011, I was thinking, man, it could go to 0.0005. I mean,
I was hoping that it would do that. Most of mine, or a lot of mine, I got at like 0.00227, something like that. When it was 0.001, I actually didn't buy that much, just because I was, like you said, I was hoping it would go down to lower than that, and it didn't. It seems like not the floor, the 0.0035 seems to be about the good support line. We have a nice couple double bottoms there. In your opinion, what's going to be the big catalyst to pump this up? Is it going to be the switch over to Mutable X? Is it going to be the MTL license, new exchanges? What do you think?
Yeah, like a couple of weeks ago, I would have said the immutable migration, but I think that's starting to get really priced in. We're seeing the price pop to like 0.0048. But I think the next thing that really isn't priced in just yet, we know about it, and maybe just in a certain extent it is priced in, but I think the Omi utility that we hear about and the Viviverse will be pivotal for this year to really pop the price. Like I've said, my fear with Viviverse, it's a glorified trophy room. Now I know that's probably not the case. We're probably going to get a couple games using our collectibles. And I think even if we get something like that, that would be good enough to pop the price to back to 1 cent or higher.
Yeah. And I know, I guess two things. One, you did a video this morning, which I saw most of it on it. What was? Can you give a brief description for people here that haven't seen it, like a Cliff Notes video of Reese's comments
Yeah,
in Telegram?
I can. Let me pull up my notes here.
Sure. While you do that, also, when we get into the VVverse, and you say that we're going to be able to use our collectibles in there, will that make you buy more collectibles? Will that make you go like, oh, hey, I'm not really a collector, but I want to use these in the VVverse and I get perks?
Yeah. I mean, like definitely. Like I don't have a DeLorean, and for
Mhm.
me, there's no point in buying a DeLorean. If I ever choose to do so, I can get it at less than what it costs to buy it. But I think if something like a DeLorean to Ecto One game comes out, then I have a use case for that DeLorean. I'm definitely going to buy it, and I think that floor for DeLoreans will go up. And I actually believe that the first game that's going to come out is a DeLorean Ecto One racing game because Dan Carlos has talked about it so much. We've even seen demos of the DeLorean driving. I mean, from what I
Yeah.
understand, you used to be able to move that thing around. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a no-brainer. So I think the DeLoreans will jack up in price. So if you're smart, probably need to get some DeLoreans now. I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah. Some people are asking about the Apple live stream and if it will hit $1 if David Yu gets brought on stage to showcase it. That would be, that would be I don't know what to do. I don't know if my last order is filled. I did order my 99 millionth Omi on stream today,
Oh, nice.
earlier before, so I'm so close to that 100 million. I can almost taste it. I don't know if you've seen SpongeBob.
All he has to do is just run to the stage. You know, like he's not even a guest. He's just like running, jumping on there, VV, and then like taking him away.
Dude, I would love to get him to come to one of our parties and just watch him like crowd surf. We just hold him up. That'd be great. Oh, apparently Taps is streaming that, so I might lose some viewers with that. But yeah, what was the stuff with the Reese Telegram stuff?
Yeah, so let me see. I'm on the wrong one here. Here we go. So, you know, Reese has some Telegram messages, and there's really a lot of gold there. So if you guys are on Telegram, you know, go on the official Ecomi Telegram page.
Can you link me that? I'm not on that.
Huh?
Can you link me that? I'm not on that. The official.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right.
I can try to do that later. I mean, all you got to do is on Telegram search for Ecomi, and it's like the first one.
All right, cool.
So there's an official and an unofficial. I got banned from unofficial there, but
yeah.
So you know, the verbiage he says is that the VVverse will rip through the reserve wallet and it won't take long. So there's something with the VVverse that's going to burn a bunch of reserve wallet tokens. He says some other stuff like multiple drops, products we haven't even heard about. You know, lots of licenses that haven't even been announced yet. You know, and I think he might have said something in reference to like accessories, as in like products and things like that. And it won't take long to burn all these tokens. And plus, Omi utility, being able to buy burn circulating supply, that's huge. When that comes up, I mean, that's going to really pump up the price just on news alone. But over time, that's going to really increase our prices where, you know, hopefully we'll hit 5 cents by the end of the year, maybe 15 cents by next year. You know, that would be really good for me.
Yeah, I would. Originally, my price point, but before this took a giant dump, was 10 cents by the end of this year. We had so many different things happen, and then everything had to, you know, get delayed for a little bit. So I'd say 5 cents by the end of this year, 10 maybe next year, you know, if we double. Zach R with that $10 super chat saying, "Get yourself a Crunchwrap Supreme Cravings box. Make sure my boy Dan gets himself a cheesy gordita crunch." Why? Thank you.
Zach R is awesome.
They're so good. Love those. Is that ginger ale?
Flavored water.
Oh, okay. Not as exciting, but still pretty good. Oh, lime flavored. I had I don't know if you know what Screwball is. It's a peanut butter whiskey, and by itself, it's really good. But if you like put in a cup, put some ginger ale and peanut butter whiskey in that, so good. Like life changing. You don't even know. Mark says,
I got a question for you.
Yes.
So you're a whale. Surely you must talk to other whales.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about everything?
Because a lot of the whales that I know, they're whales not because they had millions of dollars, but because they got in like 2018, 2019, and they have. I have the second or third least amount in a group of, let's say, like 15 or 20 of us. A bunch of people have hundreds of millions, if not, you know, a couple of billions. and they laughed because they were in a Telegram group or a group where you can tip Omi, where people were tipping each other like 10 million Omi for like a funny comment, like, "Oh, this is hysterical. Let me tip you 10 million Omi." I was like, "What?" And so they find it funny now that a lot of people are just like, "This isn't mooning like I wanted to in the last 3 weeks. I'm gonna sell." And they make memes about them. They're hysterical about it just because, like, guys, we've been hodling for 2.5 years. Um, so they find everything pretty funny. They find a lot of things almost kind of frustrating. Like, oh, I can't believe these people that are just instant gratification. We're going to be associated with them because we're both hodling Omi. They will take profits little by little as it goes up. Some at like 6 cents, some at 10 cents, some. But from what I've seen, I don't know. You know JP, right?
Who?
JP, the
Yes.
maybe you might not. Yeah, he had like 175 million, give or take. He sold all of it, went into like Solana or something, almost like doubled his money. Now he has 300 million, and I don't think the price changed that much, while he's doing that. So it really tells me that people can sell 100 million in a thing, and that'll get absorbed really quickly, or people will buy that much, and then it won't affect the price too much. It's going to really take a bunch of people coming in at once to really make it moon, which of course it will. But if people are worried about other whales liquidating 100 million at once, I don't think that would really affect the price, especially not if a bunch of people are coming in. As the support keeps rising. So, but some of them have a lot of the collectibles. Some of them just in it for Omi. That's kind of what we're viewing right now. And Marco,
what's their like price prediction? Do they think do you think $1 is realistic, or you think that's crazy?
Yeah, I've told it to them, and they said they don't expect it anytime soon. A lot of them don't need $1 for to be. A lot of them don't need. Some of them don't even need to be 10 cents to have like 100 million, because they have a billion coins. But a dollar for me would mean $100 million. A lot of them would be like, it'll probably get there. We don't want or need it to get there. They don't really care. It's like 25 cents, 30, 50 cents. And it's like, okay, $100 million, which is bananas to think about. But they do think it is possible, but they don't really know or care. They think it'll be years away, which I do too.
Yeah.
But I've said on my stream a bunch of times, Crypto Rain guy, who's, again, this is what he does and goes on a bunch of different things, saying that potentially, which I don't see it, but again, he does this more than me. This bull cycle, which a lot of us think by the end of next year is when it'll end. I think I heard you say like Chinese New Year might be when it'll end.
Yeah, that's what a whale said. Yeah.
So he said whenever this bull cycle, when it ends, we could potentially reach close to $1 this bull cycle. I was like, I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I see like the end of next year, maybe like 20 cents, or I'm sorry, 10 cents, and beyond. But it's just a lot. It's a lot. So I will try to get more. I'll try to get like 102 or 103 million, just because I want to have like 1 million in the VV app, just to get a lot of collectibles, and maybe another 1 million or so to buy land in the VVverse. And then next year, regardless of what the price is, I'm probably going to sell 3 million. 1 million Omi will probably be for taxes. 1 million will probably be to get my Cybertruck. Another 1 million because I want to live in a not 1-bedroom apartment. I want to have some goddamn air conditioning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's awful, man. It must be hot over there. I can only imagine what that. I do know what that feels like, and that's got to be awful. I don't know how you can sleep, honestly.
I just get naked, just because it's like I don't even.
That's think you can do.
Shorts is okay, but yeah, I'll drive like the hour and a half, 2 hours, visit the girlfriend. Like, hey babe, just wanted to visit you. Sleeping in air conditioning. So yeah, that's but I want to have that, like, not clout, just that thing. I want to be one of the only millionaires without an air conditioner. I do want to have that. And I missed my 30-minute Patreon member shout out, so I will do that. Dan, you want to shout anyone out while I get this ready?
Yeah, sure. What do you want me to do?
Oh, I don't know if you want to shout someone out. Be like, hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being a super fan or being
okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
Let's see.
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never want to let you go. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? That ever since we met, you had a hold on me. It happens to be true. I only want to be with you. I'm sorry for
I don't
all
think
the
I can highlight comments, actually.
Oh, okay. Disregard. Uh, so yeah, sorry guys about the multiple love songs, Dan Lee. I promise it doesn't mean anything. It just pops into my mind. Mark Hunt says David Yu hops on stage and accidentally leaks Pokemon because it's David Yu. That'd be great. Yeah, apparently he doesn't like to keep secrets, or he's like so excited about things that he leaks things sometimes. Goose Next hits like guys. Randy gonna be like 100 million. Oh, soon, when Jen Parker. Probably, I'm hoping later this week. I'll let you know. Land purchases. I really want you to go to 200 million. What was your Omi goal? Did you meet your Omi goals? Did you surpass it? Not get it yet?
Yeah, right now I'm still trying to get my money into the market because I'm kind of capped off on Coinbase. There's only so much tether I can send in a certain period of time, I guess. Mm-hmm. So once in a couple of days, I'll be able to send some more. So I don't know how long this process will take, but eventually I will definitely hit my goal. And my goal is to really hit about 20 million. So we'll see about that. Yeah.
All right. So in the event, in just the reference of time, if you know that there's only so much tether that you can buy and sell, would you say like, hey, I might as well eat some of these fees and just buy Bitcoin and sell the Bitcoin and then transfer it on BitForex? Would you do that?
No, I don't like selling. I'm not much of a like seller. I don't like selling things. I don't know.
Oh, so instead of getting the instead of buying the Bitcoin, transferring it to.
Yeah, I actually don't know how to do that. I thought there was only one trading pair on BitForex. No,
there is. It's only USDT. But what you could do if you can't send the tether because you're maxed out, could you buy Bitcoin and then send the Bitcoin to BitForex and then use that, sell that to get USDT?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So the way Coinbase works, I think it's just everything. Like everything has to settle. You know, like whatever. I think it's like 10 grand or something like that. But that has to settle before I can send anything more because I've just bought like not just Omi, but like other crypto and things like that. Like crypto I like Cosmos. And that actually did really well. So I'm really happy with that.
Mark says if David Yu hops on stage, my name is Mark Hyun. You heard it here first. We will let you know. Well, this guy named Jay has 167 million Omi. Now, other friend is 230 million. So if they fusion Ha, they have 400 by themselves, and they're still buying. We're not worthy. Yeah, that's bananas. Good for you guys. I wish I had that. I wish I had more to sell. So I could sell a kidney. I don't know, man. So I know you said you do a lot of family practice or whatever. What are your experiences with people, or if you do have any, if they're on like the organ donor list or waiting list? Do you have any stories about that? And like, what are your thoughts about the black market on those types of things?
Yeah, I don't do that at all. So like, yeah, I don't have any exposure to that. So, I don't know. I think in the US, at least, it's highly regulated. So I don't think you can just buy a black market organ in the US. You'd have to buy it from like China or something. Cause I heard that's a big thing, like lives are worth like nothing over there. So you can just, take someone's kidney apparently. Yeah. So I wouldn't know about that. Why do you ask?
Oh, just someone. I don't know why that popped in my head. I think it's because I said I was going to sell a kidney for more Omi. I guess in the U.S. kidneys are worth a lot. I don't know what they're worth in China. You said a lot cheaper in China, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Black market wise, for sure.
And do you have where are you from originally? Your origin story, like, is it family? Where's you hail from?
Yeah, so I'm like, I guess technically third generation American. So my grandpa migrated from China, I guess, to Hawaii and lived there. And then my dad was born in Hawaii and then met my mom, which she's from Korea. He met her while he was in the service. So I was born in Maryland, actually, in the US. So.
All right. So split down half Chinese, half Korean.
Yeah, technically it's like 3/4 because I think My dad is half Korean, half Chinese, and my mom
Oh,
is
okay.
full Korean. So yeah, but roughly, I guess you could say I'm half half.
You ever go to Osan, or you ever been like stationed in Korea?
We visited, but I was really young,
Yeah,
and so because my dad was stationed in Yokota Air Force Base, so like I think as a
nice.
family trip went to Korea. I was too young, so I didn't really appreciate it too much. But
Yeah.
did you ever
My
go there, Korea?
No, my friend Wolfgang, she texted me while I was on the last stream, and she just got orders to Osan. I was like, oh, because I have a bunch of friends that were in Osan and Korea, and it's just military. Like I'm sure it's the same with Army. You go there for a year, you usually get a follow on of what you want. So she's been in Germany since 2017, and then so she's not going back to the States yet. She'll go into Korea, and then she'll probably want to go back to Germany unless she goes to like Italy or whatever. I was really jealous. Like, there's a couple of my friends that I met in tech school that haven't been back to the U.S. Like, they were in Germany for a little while. They're in Korea. They're in Italy. They went back to Germany, and they just haven't been back to the U.S. in like 8 years. Like, you guys have any people like that? That you just knew people that just were actually traveling the world?
Do I have friends like that, or?
Yeah, yeah. In the military still, or were they all in
Oh,
one base?
yeah,
Just
like for Army, it's different because I think Air Force has a lot of sexy locations, and even Navy probably has a bunch of locations too. But so our deployments are almost always stateside, or you're going to go to war. So it's like with my father, you can request to go to some amazing places. Like he went to Yokota Air Force Base, that's in Japan, for 3 years. That was a great experience as a dependent. And then going to Hawaii, which is like Hickam Air Force Base, for like 3 years, where he grew up. That
yeah.
was an amazing experience. Germany, like Ramstein, Reykjavik, Iceland. So a lot
Oh,
of really, really cool places. And I think he did a stint in the Pentagon too. I think that's a mandatory deployment for like career officers, is to do a couple years in the Pentagon.
that's great. I'll be going to Hawaii in December, visit a few friends there. So
Oh, really?
yeah, hopefully get some of them on the podcast. Got buddy Sutton Castle, a girl. So she's Quail. She was one name. She got married, got divorced, went back to her old name. Then now she's married again. So she's had a few different names. I can't wait to tease her about that. That'll be fun. And then two of my friends are also there. They're married. One
Which
friend got
island?
Hickam Air Force Base. I don't know. Is that
Oahu. Okay.
Oahu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oahu. We
So
were actually thinking about visiting Maui, actually, sometime this year. But we'll see. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But cool, man. That's amazing.
yeah, I
That'd be
can't
cool.
wait. And I've been trying to do a lot more podcasts. Been trying to get more people on. I'll still always do Omi and VV and Earth 2 and Pokemon and whatever. But that's what I kind of want my channel to go to as well. Maybe evolve a little bit into podcast, and also when the VVverse comes out, if that really is like eventually like a Ready Player One in like the end of the decade, but beforehand, if it's just people are building cool stuff like a metaverse, I want to go there and report on that. Where's your channel going to go? Where do you see your channel evolving into?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I feel like Omi is great, and there's still room for growth for me. But I've noticed that even if you look at Cavell, he has gonna be about 8,000 subscribers soon. He's
Yeah,
been doing this for a couple months. Like, it's gonna cap out. So eventually, I'll have to kind of move on to some other topics, like talk about Omi. And it's hard to pivot because you have. I'm sure you're aware of this. You have probably two audiences: Earth 2, Omi. Right now, I
yeah,
just have Omi. So eventually, you have to kind of pivot. But whatever you pivot to, you're not going to capture a lot of those Omi, your core followers, right? They have to just like you as a person. So I'll probably extend to maybe other crypto. Like, I think I'll keep it a crypto channel kind
yeah.
of going forward. It just makes sense.
Okay, that works. A bunch of people are saying I'm not a whale, so we need a goldfish group. They're like little guppies, as a Telegram group. Jay says 25 cent is a 50% cap with comp with the ETG cap. I'm not sure what that means with the cap. Say market 25 cents with 50% market cap. I'm not sure what that means, dude. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. I completely lost where we were. While I find that, you are currently wearing glasses. When you get a lot of money, are you going to get LASIK? What are some, like, are you doing anything cosmetic? Because I'm going to get hair plugs. I'm going to go and like reconstructive surgery on my face. I'm gonna look so heckin' hot. I'm gonna fix my
Are
teeth.
you serious? You're gonna do that? That's
Well, I'm gonna do the hair plugs and I'm gonna do the fixing the one tooth. But
yeah. Here, so like cosmetic wise, no, LASIK is interesting because right now I'm at like if you're young, 21, and you get LASIK, or like I guess maybe a little bit older, let's say 23, your LASIK will probably last until you're about 40. But everyone, no matter what, and LASIK can't fix this, you start to lose some of your like nearsighted kind of vision. So if I got it at 36, I'm going to have great vision for 4 years, and it's going to start to decline kind of precipitously after that. So it doesn't make sense for me to do LASIK. I don't know. I don't like surgery, man.
I mean, I know you do family practices. I don't know if you had any optometry class. Is there anything that you can do, like you can eat, or like something to keep your eyes from like deteriorating, like a bunch of vitamin D or K or something like that?
Yeah, maybe there's some stuff, but whether it works really well, that's kind of debatable. But I don't really know. I'm not like in that realm, so.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was wondering, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Because I mean, you have a very nice hairline, and there's even a Twitter page called David Hughes Hairline,
yeah,
which I love. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. Are there any things like any toys that you want? Like you could get a Tesla. I'm gonna get a Cybertruck next year. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think I would love to get a Cybertruck. I actually haven't even thought about what it would be like to be rich, what I would do. But really, I think for me, it'd be like traveling the world. If I could have a couple million, pretty reasonable goal, I think. Just having more free time to just travel. I think that'd be cool. While we were younger.
Mark says this conversation has turned into Randy fishing to see if Dan can remove a kidney for him me. I mean, it did cross my mind in the back to see maybe I can do that. What up, Brendan Z? Bruin lived in Korea for 2 years. Very nice. K-pop girls are hot. I think a lot of the are you into K-pop? Are you in like those bands? Like I know a lot of them are like boy bands with like crazy dance moves. No. Do you ever hear of mukbang?
Yes. Yeah.
I wanted to do that. A lot of those people that do it, like the South Koreans, they can eat like a whole ass like cheesecake and they still are like 120 pounds. After yesterday and today's of Taco Bell, I'm sure I gained like 5 pounds just from that. So I can't do it. Would you ever think about doing something like that?
Like a channel like that, or just no?
Yeah, just a video stream. Watch me eat 8,000 calories.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once or twice or something like that. But like you got to have that really good audio, right? You got to have like because they want to hear that lip smacking, like
they want what's that called? ASMR.
Crunch. Yeah, ASMR. Yeah. I think that's kind of key. But my wife watches some YouTubers like that just like eat a bunch of food, and I just think it's, gosh, you got to feel like crap after that. Some of those people who just eat like large quantities. Have you seen those people?
Yeah,
competitive eaters.
Those guys are insane. One dude ate like a giant burrito. It was like 20,000 calories. It was like, how? That's so much. It was insane. But it's so impressive. Like it's weird the stuff that we find interesting. Like I was on TikTok. My friend Meg showed me. He's like, Chavez, look at this. Like, and it was just a woman stocking her fridge. But it was so satisfying. Okay, Yoo-hoos go here, water bottles go here, and like Lunchables go here, and like I don't know why, but it was so cool to watch. Like it's satisfying. You ever watch something stupid like that? Or no, you're normal.
No. So like, there's some things I like. I like when like there's this guy Foresty Forest. All he does is he lives in his van and he drives around and does like cooking videos in his van and he hikes. Yeah. That I think there's something about that's like that's so freeing. It's like I'm trapped in this kind of suburban life existence and he's living the dream, like traveling and living in his van. I think that's sexy.
Well,
like
he's also single too. He doesn't have kids, he doesn't have a wife. I think he had a girlfriend for a little bit, if I remember correctly. But he could do. I mean, also, I don't know how Danielle like comes and was here because there's like again, I don't have a bed. It's just we're sitting on a mattress on the floor. I think a lot of women they kind of have like these things called like standards where like no, I'm not doing that. And if you're traveling like in a van, it's kind of not, you're not at the Holiday Inn, you're not at the, Motel 8, it's kind of there. So I think that's why a lot of times people are limited with that. But you said you wanted to travel the world. I mean, when Omi hits and you have a lot of Omi, it's a million, even at 1 million. Are you going to stay in Oklahoma? Do you guys have discussed like where you want to move?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how much money we make from the Omi stuff, but one of my big dreams is just to do a travel vlog. And the thing about that is it's really expensive. That's why there's not a lot of good content on it. You have to actually travel, you have to have good equipment, you have to go to all these cool places. So I think if I could somehow convince her or both of us to like quit for a year, just take the baby, do a lot of like traveling type content and maybe kind of pay for some of our expenses or just kind of document the process. I think that's what we would do, or that's what I would want to do. So I'd have to kind of convince her.
Okay. And I know we were kind of joking about parties before, but let's get this right now on record.
Yeah.
At what penny, at what percentage, what dollar amount or cent amount do you want to have the Oklahoma? I'm saying 10 cent Long Island, 10 cent New York party, Long Island, Oklahoma party. What
I think the Oklahoma party, I think people are polite. Like I've introduced the concept of an Oklahoma party and people are like, oh yeah, I'll do it. But I know people aren't going to do it, man.
It's going to be like 3 of us.
Yeah, it's going to be me, Kyle, and like my wife, Kyle Wilson. No, but I think we should have a 5-cent party. I was just thinking, the reason I even brought up an Oklahoma party is because I personally just want to have a party. I want to meet all these people. Yeah. I think people will come at the 5-cent level.
Yeah,
I don't know. And I was talking with Kyle about this. And you're down to come if you want to do this, but maybe a virtual 1-cent party where it's mostly streaming, but we're kind of celebrating, just the 1 cent, because that's pivotal for us because we're going back to where we should have been, a long time ago.
So are you saying like we just stay in our house and do virtual, or we go there to you and we're all on stream?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be whatever.
I was thinking about doing a 1 cent live stream party. Like just for me is like it's like 0.0095. We're gonna watch until it goes to 1 cent. Something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool and should happen. Also, I think that it's gonna be hard to plan because that should happen. I'm gonna say by next month, and it also can happen like that.
Yeah.
Like let's say the end of this month we get to 0.005 or 7. It's not gonna take too much of a bump. Like Tesla's done that before, where it goes up like 20% in one day. So that Omi can do it. That'd be very hard to plan.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily see it as like let's watch it go to 1 cent, but more like some sort of because it's hard to plan, just like you're saying. Yeah. It'd be more of a celebratory, like, hey guys, we did it. There's so much more to look. Like imagine if like immutable migration, happens and we pop to 1 cent because of just that news. Yeah. And we have VVverse coming, Omi utility coming, multiple exchanges coming. Then that would be so exciting for the community because then it's like, wait till what can we think of next? Where are we going next? But I don't know. It could be something as simple as like we just have a virtual party and we like drink beers on screen, or it could even be like some of us who are willing get together at some area, Chicago or something. I don't know, whatever. New Jersey.
Middle of the country.
Yeah. And just like we're partying a little bit, having drinks. We have someone like streaming it live. I don't know. It could be something as simple as that,
Yeah, that'd be great. And so in Oklahoma are like, I recently was just at my first hurricane party in New York a couple weeks ago.
Oh yes. Wow.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Do they have stuff like that? Like, do they have like tornado parties where you are like going?
No, we're just scared. We just go into our storm shelters. Like we don't have a storm shelter, and most reasonable people in Oklahoma have some access to a storm shelter. They should.
Yeah.
We just hide in our storm shelters.
So what is there like any big places like to do or go? Like, or can we go storm chasing? Is it like where's the big party place in Oklahoma?
We have a lot of casinos. So one of the biggest casinos is actually in Oklahoma by square footage. It's like called WinStar. That's kind of on the Texas border, maybe 3 hours away from me down south.
Okay.
So that's a big casino space. And there's a bunch of casinos here that can maybe handle like a party like that. But basically a lot of casinos, and then maybe the Gathering Place, which is like the best free park in the US. That's kind of cool. But other than that, there's not much. And I don't want to actually... I wouldn't want to feel guilty that I tricked people into spending money to fly to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a party,
No, I mean, by that point, I don't think it'll matter. Oh, also, I have very few monies in my bank account now because I keep buying Omi and Bitcoin for more Omi and NFTs. So I will, yeah, when it reaches a cent, I'll have that $1 million in Omi, but I also my bank account won't change. I'll still have like 3 grand in my bank account. So I will let you know exactly what how much monies I have to spend and all that as well.
Wait, I guess we can come to you because the thing about New York, it's that you got JFK and things like that, and that's a cheap flight. Like people
Yeah.
from London could come, even I could come for pretty cheap, you know. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I love it. Kyle Wilson's here saying, "Yo, what up?" He says, "Woohoo!" And my wife too. All right, cool beans. Uh, and Adventures of Bucky the Beagle says, "Stay here in Oklahoma where it's cheap." Um, yeah, well, why I'm moving to Florida is because it's cheaper than New York, and everyone has central air down there. But it's just a freer nation. It's just a freer state to kind of do whatever we want. Or New York is just kind of show me your paper stuff, which like is fine, but like not really. I don't know. Jay says 5 cents is easy. 1 5 cent, 1 penny. When utility and buybacks happen, we'll see all-time highs. We can see about 3 to 5 cents. Raj Shah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about you? What's your low price prediction and high price prediction by the end of the year?
You know, publicly I say 2 to 5 cents, but privately I think that the lowest it could possibly be is 1 cent. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that because I that's what I truly think, and I'm lying to people. It's just like that's like the worst case scenario for me is 1 cent. So that's pretty good.
It's your bear case.
Yeah. So that
Mark Hunt says, so be at the Omi 5 cent party and imagine if it tanks because the entire crypto market tanks and you can't afford a flight home.
Like David, you arrested and you're stuck in Tulsa. I would pay for you to go back home for sure. I mean, it'd be so sad. We'd probably never talk to each other again. It's so embarrassing.
Do you think that if David Yu was arrested for something, that would only give Ecomi more popularity? Like, whoa, the CEO's a badass. He's arrested for like whatever. Like, yeah, I'm going with him. It's just like remember then that the CEO of Hustler, the porn magazine, he survived an assassination attempt, put him in a wheelchair, but he survived, and like their sales went through the roof. Bonkers.
What if he like? There was that rock artist, I don't like hard rock person. He like, I forgot his name. He bit that pigeon's head and like ate it.
Ozzy.
What if he did something like that and like PETA was after him? That would Omi would moon, man.
Yeah,
moon if he did something like that.
They need to go like that's what helped like Trump get elected. He just didn't care about things. He would just go on Twitter, like curse at people, and not that I want David Yu to like go on Twitter like Trump and say, obnoxious, crazy things, but he's very good at Twitter. And I think that just would streamline his popularity a little bit. This is a dangerous name we could play with David Yu. Hack his Twitter just to post something nuts. But yeah, speaking of Hustler, I don't know if you ever go on, not for its intended purposes, but have you ever seen those guys on like Pornhub that build a giant moat and they build stairs? They build almost like a tiny little resort like in the woods with mud.
I've seen videos like that. It's not on Pornhub, is it?
Yeah, that's where I first saw it. There was this one dude. I went deep down the rabbit hole with this. There's so many different rabbit holes you can go down. Where this one dude was just he was just like preparing stuff like for cooking, and he was chopping down like trees or whatever to make like a base. Like he went from like nothing there. He made a little cooking pot, and he started cooking there. I think he was cooking rabbit. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. Then the next video was like these two like brothers, I don't know, they're Philippines, like some Central American country, and with just a couple of shovels, and a bunch of water, they made like stairs and a moat.
Well, yeah, I've seen videos like so. Like, there's videos like that on YouTube where it's actually a huge channel where like they build like a luxurious swimming pool out of like sand and mud and like whatever, and it's all like time lapse, so it's like really fast. So wait, this is kind of funny because. So you go to a site like that for one purpose. So are your pants are down and all of a sudden you see something like you're like, oh wow, your pants are still down and you're like clicking watching that like.
It happened in two different ways. One was with my friend Amber sent me something on Porn Link or a link to Pornhub, and we had dated, and she would send me sometimes some really like. You ever hear of tickle porn? It's like when the girl's like strapped up, but nothing's set. Just they're like tickling her feet or they're tickling her side, and I was like, "What is this?" And so yeah, she sent me something, and I was getting ready. I was like that meme from for Brock where he's he's looking like that. He's like, when you go to scratch and then you get the idea, like, hmm. So I was thinking like that, and then it was the guys building stuff, and then one time I was over at my friend Brittany's house, and she had it was like 2 weeks after Avengers Endgame came out, and she had it on screen like, oh, like bootleg. She's like, yeah, it's on Pornhub. I was like, what? So Avengers Endgame was on Pornhub, and then like I was just like, oh, on Pornhub, and then it just got me thinking like, I should take my pants off and we should do something. So it has happened multiple times, multiple different ways, with that type of deal. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question or a couple part of questions. John Doe doesn't know if you can go to the Oklahoma party, a 5 cent party. Kyle Wilson's ha ha ha, get in your shelter. Storm chasing does have fun. Do you have any people that that do that, like for YouTube or for the weather channel?
Like I had one guy that he like did that stuff, and he was actually really gifted in terms of finding pictures and filming video, like really good at that kind of stuff. But he couldn't do anything else. Like he had no other, like he's kind of mentally deficient in that regard. But he took me one time, and that was actually kind of a cool experience. He got some good shots, and you got to have the kind of the eye for that and the patience for that kind of thing. But some people do it. Okay. And you can sell your stuff for money.
Oh, that's true. This is the thing I was talking about before, where Brock was like, we can go cow tipping. I feel bad for the cows. I don't know if I'd want to do that.
I've done cow tipping.
How was it?
The cow's kind of scared. So this is when I was young. This is when I was in high school. But you don't see anything. We didn't bring flashlights or anything, but you could just hear these moos all around you. So it's actually kind of scary. Have you ever played Diablo 2?
I have not.
Okay, well, there's like a secret level. It's like the secret cow level, and all these cows with pickaxes are trying to like kill you. That's how it felt like. It's like, oh my gosh. And we ran away. That's
I was scared of cows for a little bit when I was younger. And I don't mean like 5 or 8 years old. I was 19, and I was in Ohio, I was visiting some friends, and I went for a run one morning, and I'm down, like there's nothing in Ohio but like fields and roads and the occasional like, 1-story little square house. And there was like this farm I was running past, and a bunch of cows. Like I looked at them, and they looked at me, and they all started like mooing, which was fine. It was like woo, and I was like, all right, moo. I mooed back because that's what I do. And then I run. I go not even that far away. It wasn't that long, so maybe like another 1.5 miles up the road. And when I come back, they're all gone. Like the building was still there, but they're all nowhere to be seen. And I don't think I didn't see like a like a giant shed or a giant barn where they could go. Like there was some feeding trials or milking, wherever that they were, but there wasn't any giant place that they could go. And it was like they have like super speed, or they have like it was just really weird, and I just got scared. Like cows are supernatural, like they just don't. I don't know. I don't know why. It's really stupid. But you can go cow tipping, party at Dan's house, Vegas party.
All the dead midget says, I can't find the video.
We shall look for you. I don't know when it was. I don't know exactly where it was, or even what it was called. It was a while ago. I just remember random stuff like that. Speaking of midgets, when we do get like the Vegas party or New York party, what type of entertainment would you want? Lori Walking Feather?
Yeah. We text or type or whatever.
Yeah, she has a girl fight club, and I was texting her about it, like a couple of girls to have some girls come in and fight, and we bet on like who's your favorite fighter? Who's that? Do you want that? Do you want like small person tossing? Like what type of entertainment do you want at the New York party?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, so what type of entertainment would you want?
Oh,
New York party? You want girls fighting? You want midget tossing? What?
I don't want anything too. So I think we should have 2 parties because there's just such a wide range of people. Yeah. I think we should have like a formal party. I don't know, where maybe we like rent a venue space in a hotel, get some special hotel rooms kind of reserved up, and then we'll just have like a bunch of us will get on. We'll talk about different stuff. have some dancing, have some drinking, have some gambling, and then people can split off and do what they want. So then we'll have certain kind of special events like that. Because I feel like me being married, I won't be able to do any of that crazy stuff. But there's some people in the community that would like to do that, and then they can have that chance to partake without offending some of the people who may or may not be there. And I think you do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. I think you should come in early Friday. Maybe we'll have dinner, like some light cocktails, and then have Saturday kind of like you come to a convention center, we'll like talk and chat, have a things to talk about, have some of the YouTubers, have some members of the team. Yeah. And then right around like 5 or 6, we'll start like the formal party. It ends at like 9 or 10, but all the other stuff can continue.
After party, we'll start after party.
And then you wake up late Sunday, maybe just have brunch, and everyone flies home. That's what I think.
That sounds so mature. And that sounds like, I feel like I'm not as evolved. I'm not an evolved enough person yet. So like, I'll still enjoy that. Like, oh, doctor, we'll all just be kind of each other on the bat. But I also, I guess I'm not in my early 20s. I'm 30 now. I want that like crazy, like hangover type of part, like Wolf of Wall Street. Like we take a plane from one place to another with a bunch of, but again, I know a lot of you guys are married. So probably
I think we could still do that, but I think we should have a clear distinction. Like
that's
the official party is over, but if you want to continue, go with Randy Chavez. I think that's all we have to do, and then the real party happens.
Probably runs a couple limos, because in New York, if you're just in an Uber, you can't drink. But if you're in a 9-person plus X Uber, 9X plus person Uber, you can drink in there. So. We need something like that.
We need to get a party bus, depending on.
Oh, that'd be good too.
We have to get a couple party buses or something.
So my girlfriend took me to this. I don't know what it was. It was a bunch of gay pride people. It was like a bike ride around Brooklyn, and I was on acid, so I was just like, "Babe, I can't ride a bike. I'm not." So she's like, "Oh, it's okay. There's a party bus." I was like, "Okay." And I thought I was gonna be like the odd man out of just being like, "Guys, I'm on acid." Yeah. Everyone was doing all types of drugs on that bus. And I was like, "Oh, I am not the odd man. I'm the tame guy who's just drinking his White Claw and on this." And they're all going bananas.
So what would you want to do? What would be the craziest thing you want to do at the after party?
Craziest thing? Or most realistic thing that we can get away with?
Most realistic thing we can get away with.
Okay. I would say it would have to be like a day, because LSD lasts for a long time. But it does last at least like 6 to 8 hours. I would say taking over a bar, drunk karaoke, and if you want to do if we wanted to have like a venue, we'd have Lori Walking Feathers the Girl Fight Club. We'd have that. We'd have midget toss, something like that. I think that's relatively reasonable, because we're not with the girls, we're just betting on the girls, and so I think that'd be fun. Hope people stream that. I don't know if we can, because they get naked. The midget toss we probably stream though, so that would be the most realistic thing that we probably get away with. Marcon, what did you search on the hub? I forget. This was a long time ago, man. I don't know. It's been a while. Although probably wouldn't want to do this in the rain, but you ever just hit golf balls, go to the drive range?
Yeah, top golf.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. Those are good to do. Stuff in the rain is good. If we could get, I don't know how much it would cost for Lindsey Sterling to perform. Probably maybe $100,000. I feel like we could all chip in at that point. Maybe for the dollar party, I'll get her to do that, or 50-cent party, whatever.
Yeah. Do you think people should pay for it? Do you think we should have tickets to pay for the event?
This is what I was thinking. Just because I'm a notable whale, or I'm about to be with the 100 million. For the New York party, I would probably help pay for the venue, depending on how many people go. And then if everyone wants to bring in whatever, pay for extra stuff. I'm not buying 1,000 tabs of ass and just giving out there. Bring your own stuff, or if you want, Venmo me or whatever. But that's what I would do. I just give back to the community and give back to everything. But if someone were to say hey guys, let's all if we go visit Taps in California, he's yeah, we're gonna go to Hotel California. It's gonna be a $25,000 bill, or $50,000, $100,000 thing. Yeah, no issue giving like a grand, a couple grand, whatever. Just to chip in. I wouldn't, but I don't know. For me, I just want to be that. I want to be that guy. I'd be like, all right, this is paid for. Let's go, boys. Pay for your own flight and stuff and
You
hotels.
could
But
pay for like the venue and then maybe the food, or at least maybe have some sort of open bar type setup. But then I
yeah,
think we should have tickets for any sort of entertainment or anything like we do. You don't want to pay for the whole thing. That's like
that's true. That the
people don't
entertainment would
value things.
probably,
People don't
yeah,
value things if you pay for it if it's free.
because I really do want because I want everyone there, including the people like the entertainers, to have a really good experience. So I want not only like the bets, for the girls. I want us to like. You ever see those dollar bill guns that you put like $20 in singles? They have them at strip clubs all the time. You put like $20 in singles, and you just go and just
Oh,
like
okay, yeah,
instead of
yeah.
making green. So I want like everyone to get one, and we put like $100, and we go crazy. So because that keeps people coming back. Also, that keeps people like, oh, these guys are like the greatest parties. Um, yeah, I thought that'd be fun. Again, having multiple different types. Uh, yeah, so I can't wait for those. Ohika Castle, you know where that is. Well, Taylor Swift, I don't know if you watch her. She did a video. I think it was "He's so tall and handsome as hell." That one that was filmed at Ohika Castle. So I want to do that. Um, and also, I think right now, just the ones we have, the Oklahoma, the Vegas, and New York party. We're probably at some point going to have to do Europe as well, maybe like England or Germany, Austria,
I
something
think
like that.
I think UK would be good because Wannabe and Hello K are there, and they can
England.
organize something, and that's actually a really easy flight for a lot of people in Europe, a lot of people in the US. I think UK would be key for like a future party or event.
That would be good. So I have, I don't know. You ever watch wrestling back in the day, WWE?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Do you remember who Rikishi was?
Mm,
Rikishi was like this really big fat wrestler, and Thomas Brown Jr. says, "Why do I see Rikishi from WWE in Randy?" And I don't know why he sees that in me. Rest in peace, Rikishi. We love you. Pour one out for the homies. Who do you get doppelganger for anyone? Do you be like, oh, this is your doppelganger? This is who I think looks like you. You ever get that?
I mean, it's like any other Asian person. It's like, oh, that guy looks like you. That
All
happens
right.
at work at least.
Yeah, I can get that. I can understand that. I had since 2016. I don't. Do you watch soccer? This guy, like, what I used to have short hair. Apparently, I look like him, and I've gotten this exact image like 3 different times. Or
I can see that.
yeah, I apparently I look like what I have my mouth open and I look real doofy. Apparently, that's so Nia's like, speaking of midgets, like, yeah, sorry guys, we do what we say. Well, Marcon says I'm laughing so hard in real life my wife is worried. Did your wife ever get worried about like, hey, you might be putting too much in this? I know you probably talked about it before. Was there anything that was a little too outlandish for her, or vice versa, that she was doing? You're like, oh, hey, honey, we need to calm down with this.
No, she doesn't really understand the investment side. Like, I mean, she may understand a little bit, but she doesn't understand like the ramifications. She doesn't really care too much. She just has her criteria. She actually she wanted to convince me to use some of our real estate proceeds and wipe out our loans.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do that because like the loans are at such low interest. It's like kind of a waste of money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Opportunity cost. So I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. But, I'll at least have our emergency fund so you feel safe about everything. If everything, honestly, if I lose all this money I have invested in crypto, I'm probably never going to invest again. I'm just going to put it all into, conventional stocks and never do this again. If Omi crashes, I am just done with investing. Because I can't have this high degree of conviction to just kind of be a rug pull. I mean, I couldn't.
Yeah, this is probably my. Well, I don't want to say my highest conviction. Maybe it is. And I've invested more money in this than anything else just because I have more money now than at any other time. Back in 2017 when I was just starting out in finance, like $3,000, I remember the first time investing 10 grand into one deal. I was like, this is so much money, which it is. I mean, especially people with like paycheck, 5 figures is a lot of money on one deal. Tesla, I don't think I didn't actually put that much into Tesla, maybe like 30-ish grand, but it just went up so high. I just made a lot. The Pokemon card, last year, the Trophy Kangaskhan, I paid 80 grand for, and that was the biggest thing that I'd put money into at that time. I know you said you had Bitcoin back in the day. Is this something that is this the project that you have the most conviction in? Is this the project you put the most money in outside of, well, houses you didn't have to, right? You didn't have to put that much money down
For what?
for the rental properties for houses.
For the rental properties, so there's the house I lived in. I turned into rental property. I didn't put any money down, but the others, I put at least 20 to 30% down. So I got a lot of my capital back and things like that. So,
is this what you put the most money into, Omi, or is it other stuff?
Yeah, now it is. Now it's mostly this. I would say it's like 50% of my portfolio now. I'm still putting money in there.
Oh wow, that's so. Be advised, guys. Again, we are not financial advisors. It's not financial advice. But most people, especially people that I used to work with in the high risk industry, there's like, nah, you got to diversify. You can't, they didn't want to put any more than 5, maybe like 8 to 10% if it's like a surefire thing, which of course nothing is into their stuff. So, do you, for other people in this, in the financial, in your financial world, like financial friends, like at home or at work, do they look at you like you're crazy? Or is it just like, well, he's smart, I guess he knows what he's doing?
Yeah, none of my friends are really at the level of investing where they're even getting into something like Omi. I mean, I think, my father-in-law, he's like starting to understand crypto a little bit, but he doesn't understand what Omi is. To him, that's like, it's too far separated. It's not talked about on the news. They talk about Bitcoin now, that's becoming more accepted. But, in terms of degree of conviction, I feel the same degree of conviction when I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013 to what I do now with Omi. And that's why I feel like just everything in my life, when I've had a high degree of conviction that this is the right thing to do, it's worked out really, really well for me. Military, it worked out for me. Medicine, it's worked out for me. Actually, I don't think I've shared this publicly, but, my wife, I married her after just knowing her for 6 months, dating for 6 months. So
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So people think that's crazy, but for me, I was like, at this point in my life, I know what kind of woman I need. I know what kind of woman she is just from, obviously you date a little bit, what's not right for you.
Yeah.
So I feel like for the big things in my life, when I've had that 100% degree of conviction, it's always worked out. And I feel the same way for Omi. So that's why I started the channel, really, to share that sentiment.
So that also makes me feel better too when I see, because I do flirt the line of being like a little crazy. I mean, if any like mental health professional comes into my house, they're gonna be like, bro, what the fuck? Like they're gonna be like, you need to be admitted, like you need to be put on drugs, so I know that sometimes I do. Like I did a hot car challenge for charity, where I was like in a hot car for like, it was like the middle of July. It was like no AC, no nothing. It was really hot. I do some crazy stuff sometimes, and I don't know, did I go over the line? Did I do this? But when I see people like you and Taps Trades go in, and especially you saying that you have more than 50% of your net worth in Omi, and that not only that, but
my crypto.
Yeah, your crypto. Oh, okay, it's crypto. All right. I thought it was net worth, like in general.
So, yeah, I mean, I see. I don't really include my 401k and things like that. That's like my my insurance policy. If things hit the fan, at least I can retire at 65 and not be poor. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah. But when you said that everything that you've done, like military, actually your wife, like all these big risks that you took, they worked out. So that just lets me know that, hey, he's got a really good track record. So that makes me feel better. So thank you for that. Dancing the Arena says, I'm learning that Randy is wild.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm learning a lot about you at this stream too. I don't think I realize you're this wild, which is fine. I'm not judging you, but it's just interesting to see that other side.
Yeah, I mean, you only live once. I never used to like the saying YOLO, but I did. It's like, well, it's true. Like, money you can't take, and it's a wild ride. It could end, and it could end like any moment. Like even in San Antonio, and I was at like just any place that you go, no matter how nice, no matter how awesome, bad stuff happens, and you be taken like in an instant. So I just got to have good experiences now. That's just my kind of thing. Surprised I made it this long, but now that I am and I'm good, I'm chill. I just want to have a good time, man. I think there was a actually for my 90-minute Patreon member shout out. Singing Radiohead at the top of our lungs with the boombox blaring. We were falling in love. Got a bottle of whatever, but it's getting us strong. Singing Here's to Never Growing Up. Call up all our friends. Go out this weekend. Love Avril Lavigne. That wasn't the song I was thinking of. Song I was thinking of. It was something similar like that. Basically saying, all my life I've been good, but until now, now I just want to like live it up. That type of deal. So yeah. Thomas says Randy sounds like a blast to get after it with. Yeah. I mean, although a lot of the times, most times I'm kind of an introvert. I'll sit here on my mattress and I will go, and what I downloaded the other day was the actual Pokemon trading card game, like the actual tabletop game. So I don't do most things. I don't do really wild. I'm chilling in here playing video games, making videos. What about you? Do you in the wife get wild? Do you hire a sitter? You go crazy, or you just like Netflix and chill people?
Yeah, I mean, my wife is kind of an indoor type person, so her idea of a good time is maybe just like watching TV, having time off, which is fine. But every now and then I like to do something. I can't just do that indefinitely. Like I could do that for a couple months, but after that I need to do something else,
Planet Vampire asks, we all go to a Chuck E. Cheese and we all pitch in to turn the animatronic animal band into an animatronic Reese, Dan, Trevor, and David band. That'd be interesting. You ever play Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
there was a movie based on that too. Wasn't there like a Nicolas Cage crappy movie where he doesn't talk a whole lot? I saw it recently. It was a review. It was like a review of a bad movie. I don't even know why Nicolas Cage did it, but it's basically that premise. He goes in and these animatrons are like trying to kill him, and he kills all of them. It's a horrible movie, but you might like it.
I would love to see that. Sounds great. There's a video on YouTube. It's just like 5 or like 7 minutes of Nicolas Cage just screaming. Just a compilation of him going like, "No, not the bees, no!" Or when he's transforming into he played Ghost Rider. It's really weird, but it's just him transforming, just screaming. That's really fun. I love him. Do you listen to Nostalgia Critic? You know who he is?
Mm-mm.
He's a YouTuber that just reviews movies and videos. It's just fun. He's good. I forgot where minted through stacks. Omi's 9. Wow, Mark Hunt says Omi is 99% of his portfolio, and Stacks Punks. And you bought Bitcoin back in the day, right? What year did you buy that?
2013. Like when was it? It's the middle of 2013. It kind of mid part of 2013.
Okay, and when did you sell? I know you sold it not early, but I mean, I think you sold it at a profit, but
I sold it really a couple months later. Then I bought back in on Coinbase, and I got a couple coins there, and then sold it months later. I didn't hold for very long. I should have, but
yeah. Kurt Tyson says, "I'm really glad I'm working from home today. This live is hilarious." Oh, thanks, guys. I mean, we're just talking. What says Randy brings the best live shows. I can't. I would love to do a live stream like this with everyone and just who's the next person you're live streaming with that you're having on your channel?
So we're talking, but Wannabe Champ and I might do something. I hadn't sealed that down yet. And I asked Cavell Anderson to do a collab with me, and he said he would. He's just waiting on like his new computer, because he's using his girlfriend's computer now to make videos. So I didn't know if that was like a polite way to say like hell no, or if you know what I mean, like it'll come in a couple months. I'm still waiting.
He's still perpetually waiting for his computer. Hey, yo, Cavell, it's 2030 now. Like, you haven't been relevant in years. Can we like not that he wouldn't be. He's got what, like 300,000 subscribers on his other channel?
Yeah.
So he's got loads of people following him, and on this one he has slowed down. He used to make like 4 or 5 videos a day, and based on the rate of progression, where it's like a couple videos a week now, by like 2023 he'll be down to like 1 video a month. So like, oh, Cavell, come on, man.
I don't know why he doesn't work more on that channel, because he gets good views. I think the revenue on a gaming channel versus a crypto finance channel, I think the ad revenue, there's a big difference.
Oh,
Huge difference, I think.
that makes sense because I feel like a bunch of crypto people have money to spend. A
Yeah.
lot of gaming people, it's like, whew, $60 for this new game, which I get. It was I remember the hunt, like, oh, I'm gonna try to find this on sale, ordering it off like Newegg to get like 15% off. It's like,
Yeah.
good times. Are there any video games that you waited like midnight release for that you're like, gotta get it, or you just got it like the next day or whatever? Dave Van Dronen. Sorry, keep
I feel
going.
like nowadays with digital downloads, you don't have to do that anymore. But I think it was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, I didn't wait. Like I'll never wait like in line. Like I think I value my time too much nowadays. I don't think I'd ever do that. But I mean, no offense to people who do that. I'm just saying like I just don't want to wait and be cold. But it was Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's because that's a really nostalgic game for me. It's a really amazing game, and yeah, that's what I did. Mark
Yeah,
said StarCraft 2 midnight relief. I could see that. That was a big game too.
yeah. I did it when I was younger. A lot of midnight releases. I actually, in 2016, I scheduled my last year in the military. I scheduled my terminal leave around the release of Pokemon X and Y, so that I started my terminal leave the day that happened. So and I had a GameStop on base, on McGuire Air Force Base. So I was like, oh, yeah, the night before, I'm playing in the terminal, and it was a passenger because I'd take a Space A flight to Ramstein, Germany. It was a C-5 aircraft. You ever work on aircraft?
No.
It is prone to being broken. Like they get broke, they break a lot. But there was one seat on it, and I got it, and I had a whole C5 to myself, playing Pokemon with the crew. It was awesome. I snuck a bunch of these airplane alcohol bottles on the plane, got drunk. It was super fantastic. It was a good time. The crew, of course, didn't drink. But yeah, there's a. Were you ever on like aircrafts when you were in the military?
Yeah, we did Space A one time. We flew from Japan to Hawaii. The thing about Space A though, it's like it's hard to get on. Like my dad was like my dad was a major, and it took him 2 days to actually finally get to Japan. So it's like really rewards people who actually have time on their hands, you know.
Yeah, because it goes when your leave starts. Like if let's say I'm like a general and you're like enlisted. What rank did you get up to? What E
Oh, I
five?
was just an E4. Yeah, like nothing
E4
special.
Mafia. E4 Mafia. Yeah. So if I'm a general and my leave starts on November 16th, but you're an E4 and your leave starts on November 15th, you get it just because your leave
Oh,
started
really?
earlier. Yeah. So that's how it works. It doesn't really matter rank or whatever. And in the summer, because it goes by categories. Category 1 and 2 are like emergency leave and all that. Category 3 is active duty. They're on leave. I forget what category 4 is command sponsor. I forget what category 5 is, but category 6 is retirees. Where retirees, if you retire, you can go on a Space A flight. You're on perpetual leave. Um, they go in and they get free flights. So the terminal is always packed with these old people trying to like go to Germany or trying to go like to Travis, wherever. Um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Um, so 2000 Super Brad says, I have 1 Bitcoin, 20 Ethereum, 15,000 ADA, 150,000 vet. Should I sell all of them for OMI? I have 2 million already. I don't know about you, Dan Lee, but I sold I have like half a Bitcoin. I'm going to sell the rest of my Bitcoin for OMI. I have almost nothing left in Pokemon. I did all that. I already sold that for OMI. That's just what I did. What about you, Dan Lee? Does that scare you? Does that like?
Yeah, so with that is I think to protect yourself psychologically, this is a psychological perspective. I wouldn't sell it all. I would at least have some because Bitcoin is going to pump. ETH is going to pump, ADA, VET. So just sell a portion, whatever makes sense to you, and have some left to ride. So you'll never feel like, oh, son of a bee, I should have just held Bitcoin because it's $1 million of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? That's what I personally would do. Not financial advice. Just if I were in that situation, that's what I would do.
Okay. Check out the Nicolas Cage Chrome extension if it replaces all browser images with Nicolas Cage's images. Used to prank people with it. That's great. I would love that. StarCraft 2, midnight release, Final Fantasy. I think the last game I was at midnight for was either Pokemon, but before then, I think it was like a Super Smash Brothers game. But then if you don't have enough time, just retire, and then you'll have a little more time. So go in and I know you said your wife's part-time now. You're going to do part-time in the future. And I'm guessing she'll be home full-time after that. depending on Omi goes. I mean, if you said the goal was 20 million and this goes to, well, I guess 5 cents, you'd have $1 million. And then, if you hit the goal, and so, what is 20 cents? Be 4 million? Yeah. I mean, I know you said you had a little bit debt to pay off. Do you know like the timeline, what your price point is for like, hey, wifey, it's time, let's retire?
Yeah, I've always said that 2 million roughly, like it's actually technically like 1.8. That would be enough for us to start having conversations. And then probably at 3 million, I think we're done at 3 million. I mean, I live in Oklahoma. It's really cheap to live here. Our house is not that much money. It's a nice house, but it's not that much money. Things in Oklahoma don't cost much. We don't have to pay expensive prices for parking. New York, I think you need a lot more. California, you need a lot more. But for me, I think 3 million have our lifestyle right now. So can be like obtainable, especially with crypto.
That'd be great. So apparently Ecomi just tweeted this stream. I want to find the link for that.
Oh, are you serious?
I that's what somebody said in the comments. So let's see.
They don't know what they're getting into.
Oh, they don't know. Oh my god, yeah, 56 seconds ago. Let me just put it like, be advised, guys. We are going off the rails. Going off the rails. Are we on the
gosh, you've been tweeted, man. You know why? I think Reese liked the one. So I think I was pushing something out, and I think Reese liked it, so it was on his radar.
Yeah.
So,
well, now we have to keep talking forever. I'll share the rest of the super chats with you if we stay on for like an hour.
Let's pivot to Ecomi related topics since we're on blast like that. But
okay.
So
I apologize in advance. Okay, so Ecomi related topics. What is right now your favorite NFT drop? Which ones have you gotten? What are the favorite ones for you?
I really like the comics because I think the comics have a big chance of actually going to be worth so much more in the future. The board cube, which I bought because I like the board cube, like that's probably not going to be worth a whole lot. It seems like Vivi is not big into vehicles. Like people don't value vehicles in Vivi
yet. They don't value them yet.
Yeah.
I think when we have when those races happen, why I think the DeLoreans are a bit undervalued is because that they don't. It's the first vehicle. I think it was the first vehicle. I don't know if it made noise. No, it wasn't. It was the first vehicle to ever do something because we have Fast and Furious. So we're going to be able to go and say like, oh, hey, what were the first vehicles ever on Vivi? And DeLorean, the races. And that the DeLoreans can go 88 miles an hour because that's what you have to do for them to work. I don't know how fast the Ecto ones can go. Do you know? Do you have any knowledge on that?
No. I mean, it's a Cadillac with a bunch of stuff on it, so probably not that fast.
Yeah.
And they're going through New York City,
Also true. So they're probably not made, to build fast. They're definitely not made for turning either. They got a lot of stuff on them. They're top heavy. The Fast and Furious models will probably be the fastest because they're so crazy. They're so nuts. And One Kenobi says Captain America feels good. So we had updates on animation features. Yeah, remember when Ritmo you pressed it and did a little neigh? Do you know of any other, if Reese has mentioned anything else as far as animation features that he's going to add to other NFTs?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really talk about collectibles too much because really it doesn't interest me as much. The crypto side is what really kind of gets my gears turning, unfortunately. But what I will say about that is I have started to become a collector, and I think Vivi is having some sort of collecting effect. Like there was someone else in one of our Telegram groups that she was talking about how, not much of a collector, but the fact that she was thinking about selling, but she didn't want to because she loved these collectibles so much really tells me that Vivi can change our mindset to become more of a collector. And that's kind of cool when it hits mainstream.
Yeah. So real quick, C-Spill, who got a secret rare today, which I didn't know that his reservation was still turning and turning. He is actually the 6th person that was on my live stream this morning that got a secret rare. So we had literally 3% of all secret rares were gotten on my live streams. So this is why you do this. This is why you come on. Dude, you got to live stream some of them sometimes. They're really fun. They're really cool. It's really exciting.
How do you get the phone stuff on your screen?
I turn my chair and I go like this. Like, come on, guys.
Look, guys, look.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. So I was like, so beforehand, I was just like, I was trying to get ready to like be pumped. So I was like bouncing in my chair. I was trying to like throw punches, and it worked. It worked. I was rubbing Dashy for good luck. I was and it works. Like a lot of times on our stream, we do get 1 to I guess 3%. We've gotten 2% before on the secret rares. So
do you ever like do exercises with your finger to get that like speed up?
So I have a piano right back there, but it's filled with papers and Taco Bell. I haven't used it in a while. Because I mean, what I'm actually on right now is a box of Tequila. That's what the my tablet is standing on. I still don't have a computer. I don't have one yet. So
why don't you upgrade your rig? I mean, you're popular now.
I know.
You're really popular.
So part of the reason was the factor that there was a bunch of people that went like, oh, hey, Randy, yeah, you're doing this. It's easy for you because you have money. Like, well, what do you think helped me get money? I was working my face off for like 16 plus hours a day. I had 2 businesses. And up until like a couple months ago, I was doing everything on my phone. So I got partnered on YouTube because I was grinding and because I just had a phone. So I wanted to stay in that area of like, you don't need all this crazy fancy equipment to go and get viewers. You don't need all this stuff. You can go and do it just with this. But also, I actually don't have room on my table. Like, there's no room for it. When I go and I move, whether it's into the girlfriend's place or it's go into Florida, I will do that. Because I do want to get. I'm imagining in the VVverse, it's probably going to be a computer. Would probably be easier to play with. What type of setup you have? What type of computers?
I mean, I bought a new gaming laptop, and then I just have a really widescreen monitor I just bought. Just kind of a basic streaming camera, and then a Blue Yeti. But I'm actually using some of the ad revenue to really upgrade my sound, because some of my videos have this annoying hiss. And when I finally discovered that, I'm like, this really annoys me, and I don't know. I need to get rid of it because it bothers me too much.
All right. So, N1 Kenobi is saying how much is in the reserve wallet, how much is, what can they burn? The reserve wallet has gone. So I'm going to let you guys know right now, if you go to token.vv.me.
I'll be back.
Yeah. You can go and get, token.vv.me will get you that reserve wallet, which has 284 billion. The vault has 43 billion. And we have burned over 13 billion OMI to date. So just as basket case duo. Oh, that reminds me. I missed the hour Patreon member shout out. While Dan is gone, I'll do one more Patreon member shout out, and then he'll be back, and we'll be back discussing all the crazy stuff. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools. That was my Patreon member shout out for Sebastian Case. So yeah, that's where you can go to. And I know Reese had said they're going to burn through the reserve wallet. They're going to do a mass burn. Not they're going to do it. It's just going to have a what Dan Lee said before, and go watch his video. If you go on and say, hey, they're going to burn through the reserve wallet really quickly. Great. Even if they did do a mass burn, that's all well and good through the reserve wallet. What's really going to get the price pumping is being able to, what I'm excited for is burning OMI because we're from the circulating supply. When I'm able to take OMI and Dan Lee's able to take OMI and buy some NFTs with it, or buy land in the VVverse. Dan, are you going to spend any of your OMI on NFTs of the VVverse?
I think once it goes up to a certain price, I think I'll start diversifying the OMI stack to get some collectibles. But right now, there's just no way I'm going to buy these collectibles at these prices. There's just no way. I can't reasonably do it,
I lost my mind this morning, and I bought a hymn, the HIM, the cross-dressing devil from Powerpuff Girls, because I think he's undervalued. There's like 300 of them. There's only like 13 or so on there. I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is stupid. So I got him. And I don't even know why I did. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't even complete the set because Donnie's like $36,000. So it doesn't help in my completed set. But I did just want him. For me, I am going to spend probably multiple million OMI in the VVverse buying land. Dan, have you ever bought land in like Sandbox or Decentraland, Earth2, anything like that?
No. I really want to get in early, because I think to really make the big bucks, you really have to get parcels of land early. So I feel like getting in after the fact, especially for something like Decentraland, I mean, I don't know.
I feel you. You don't think that we're still early though for the metaverse game, even with something like Decentraland, which I don't have
I
any
mean,
stock in.
yeah, the problem about Decentraland is I don't know where they're going with it, because right now people aren't spending time in Decentraland because it's really kind of a sucky experience. It's cool to go in once in a while, look at someone's art, but you can't connect with your friends, or at least I have a hard time, and I don't have any friends on there. There's no games to really play, you know. So you need a metaverse that's going to allow people to want to spend time there. If you're not spending a reasonable amount of time there, you know, you're competing with Netflix, watching Netflix. You're
That's
competing
true.
with other games, other metaverses. There's so many things you're competing with that you really got to have a great product to really distinguish yourself. And I think Viviverse could do that.
That's a good point. Asaya says I love this beginner's luck. I'm relatively lucky, but Asaya says that he told his friend to download the VV app last night, gave him gems. Today he got the Avengers Secret Rare. So jealous. What do we think the price is going to be by the end of this year? I mean, well, what do you think how they're going to be multiplied when we get on OpenSea? What do you think, the 2x, 10x?
I think some of them will like 5 to 10x, and I think not every collectible will be worth this, you know, have that kind of like amount associated with it. But I think the comics are undervalued. And if do you know anything about who's buying up comics? But it seems like people are buying up comics because they see something that a lot of people don't. And the floor prices on those some of those are really increasing.
Yeah, it was the guy that I had told y'all about, the one that we did the deal yesterday with for a secret rare comic of mine and a how I got the Harley Quinn. It was this guy Henry Pagliuca, who he has all of the comic books complete. Like, he has all of them set, and he's got, I don't know if he wants to set my bag. He's got around the same amount of Omi as I do. He has like 32 sets. He's like done it. So if it was just a random person buying something that, like, you know, they're buying something and they're putting a lot, like, let's say they're buying a bunch of the unicorns or the mermicornos, and they were buying up like 100 of those ones that are like, you know, $10 or $12. It's like, okay, it's not that much. It's like $1,000 to do all that. But if somebody with money is choosing to spend a decent amount of his money on these secret rare comics and on these, it just gives it a little more like, oh, okay, he's obviously smart. You know, he's in real estate investor. So I guess similar to Taps. And one Kenobi, yes, I'm still very, very bullish on Earth 2. That's actually the only thing I haven't sold. I have not sold any of my Earth 2 stuff. I've sold everything else, even Pokemon cards, Tesla. Have not sold Earth 2 for Omi. Dan, what was the hardest thing for you to sell for Omi? Was it like emotionally? Like, was it the houses? Was it like a collectible?
Yeah, it was the house, the first house I had that I lived in, because, you know, we spent 6 years of our lives there. Well, actually, we got married in 2015. So really 5 years of our lives there, and like a year. That was my first house I ever bought. You know, it taught me a lot. So, but I mean, it's kind of dumb to have emotional attachments to a house necessarily. I think you have to kind of move on, right?
That's true. Is there any local lore where you are, as far as, hey, like, we have the Amityville Horror House here in Long Island. It's a little bit north of me. I'm in Massapequa. It's Amityville. Oh no, maybe a little bit. Well, either way, it's a couple miles away from me. Do you guys have any stuff like that? Like, Oklahoma's. When I think Oklahoma, I do think like old school stuff. Like, any ghosts, any hauntings, any places like that?
Like, so you're talking about there's a real place that's haunted?
Yeah, you ever hear of the Amityville Horror?
No.
It's so there's a bunch of movies made about it. Was it Charles Manson? Was it the Manson family? It was a bunch of people, like, like a whole family got killed. Someone killed the whole family, and then the next family that went in, they one person there like committed suicide, and like it changes ownership every few years, because like the owners just like, nope, don't want to be in there anymore. They hit, and I forget what documentary it was. They said, like, no, there's a difference between like normal house noises, you know, pipes and stuff, versus like, no, we hear voices, we hear people talking, and it's really creepy. I don't know why people still buy the house, but I would not. Yeah, so that's the only one of the local lores that I know. Like, okay, something actually physically happened there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that, but that's the only one that continuously keeps popping up every few years because, oh, it's up for sale again. Owners couldn't take it. So
you know, there are some like haunted houses, but I don't think they're actually like haunted. You know what I mean? So nothing like that. That's kind of has a history like that.
Okay. So we have somebody there that's saying, Mark Cohen says Apple is showcasing a Marvel game on their new phone, and
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. I thought Taps was doing a live stream, but I didn't see it on his channel. I was going to go there real quick and do that, but he did not have one on there. So I don't know. I guess if because we have Marvel Mighties and we have the Spider-Man, the Captain America. The Marvel Mighties does sound like it looked for gamification. What is your thoughts on that? Do we have a second layer partnership with Apple?
Are you talking about? So you're thinking there's a partnership with Apple, basically?
I mean, there already is in the fact that we're on their Apple Store and they get a certain amount of stuff from us. But do you think there's a second layer, like, hey, we're going to use your AR glasses?
I don't think so, man. I don't think we're there yet to actually work on an AR VR glasses partnership. I don't think you have to have a partnership as a VV app in order to get that, because you Apple would just basically put out these glasses, whatever that is, and then the app developers will just cater their content towards those glasses. So I don't think you need a direct partnership. I think they're looking for someone that has AR VR glasses capability, and I think Apple would be a good choice, but I don't think there's a real partnership, so to speak. But what do I know? I'm not going to know information like that.
Yeah. Horse on Jupiter says, how much OMI should we strive to have? I would say as much as you're willing to lose, depending on risk tolerance. Don't put any money in unless you're willing to lose it. People have different variations. I have like 85% of my whole net worth in OMI. But what about you, Dan? For like someone that, what's your opinion on that? How much OMI should people strive to have?
I think 1 million is a good number. Now, it's not financial advice, and I say that number because it has it's obtainable. It's like $4,000 or I don't know how much it costs. $4,000 to get 1 million OMI right now, something like that. Cool. And a lot of people can do that. And if it goes to 10 cents, that's like what, like $100,000, right? 1 million OMI.
Yeah. Which is
so that has a great risk to reward profile.
Yeah, I like that too. There's a bunch of people that I read on here that said we are their favorite YouTubers, which I think is great. Do you have any like super fans, or do you have people like, oh, this person always comment, they always comment first?
Like Zach, he donated to you. I was talking to him offline on Twitter. He seems to be a good fan of mine. Coin Daddy, he was one of my early viewers. Like, to me, if you're loyal, if you watched my crap in the early days, because it was just horrible, and still I feel like I need to improve. But I have a couple people like that.
So as you get bigger, let's say you're one of the people that goes on CNBC or MSNBC or like Fox News talking about OMI, talking about, oh, you made so much money with crypto with OMI. What do you want to tell people? What is something when you have an audience that's not just a couple thousand, when it's like tens of thousands, potentially 100,000 people that are about to listen to you? What do you want to tell them?
I think a general sense, I don't know exactly what I would say, but the general sense is that, investing and becoming successful investing starts small. Everyone has their start. And I think you have a great example of that, because, you started off with, like what, Pokemon cards, Tesla, and you started small, but you were able to snowball that into kind of the position you have now. And it's also living frugally. I think that's a big thing, is having lifestyle change, not have a lifestyle inflation. So being able to live in a frugal manner, save all your money, invest it into good quality assets, and you'll be richly rewarded.
Okay, cool. Somebody asking about that's good. That's good. Somebody asking about the East Coast meetup. It's going to be a 10-cent party in New York. Whenever it reaches around 10 cent, we'll plan it. Dan is doing the 5-cent party. Vegas party. Do you know if anyone specific is doing that, or is that a 20-cent thing or 25 cent?
I saw someone on Twitter comment that the party was like in reference to me wanting it in Oklahoma. They want it, or it's already planned for Vegas, but I'm not sure if there's actually people planning that.
Okay.
But what I think should happen is that we should actively talk about planning a party, maybe even plan a party ourselves, And if there's someone that's already got a lot of the legwork done, we can
Yeah.
connect with them and then grow from there. Because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of ideas about what a 5 cent party should be.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Taps Trade live stream for Apple, because he was showcasing that. Apparently that got taken down. I'm not 100% sure why.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of seeing some stuff here, but I think he tried to monetize it and then.
Oh, gotcha. That's why I
that,
can't do that. Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, we've done about 2 hours. So that sound. I know you said maybe about an hour. I kept you here for this long. Okay. Oh no, you're good. I guess there was only a. It was a really short clip of the Marvel game that they were showing on Apple. But Apple partners with Marvel and Disney. And did you see that thing with David Yu? He says, "Well, we partnered with Marvel and Disney owns Marvel, so."
Yeah. I mean, to me, that wasn't like a hard confirm, but it just kind of confirms what a lot of the speculation has been saying. It only makes sense that if we have a partnership with Marvel, we have one with Disney. I think by extension. And do you ever remember that demo that was going around? It was in like some of the incorporation papers, like the patent papers. But they have a demo of Vivi, and it has like Marvel and Star Wars in there. So we know Star Wars is coming.
Can't wait for that.
Can't wait.
I hope it's not like EA games where it's just like, when they said, remember that one thing they had Darth Vader, and then like you had to spend like X amount of money or credits to get it. It's like,
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Dan, final thoughts on what you want to tell people? Like, what do you want to be most known for in the future?
I want to be known for convincing even just a couple people who are on the fence that were doubting to stay in their investment so that they could a bare minimum cash out even and not lose money, or go to the moon. And that's kind of why I started my channel, was to convince people to kind of not convince them, but encourage them to stay and be loyal to Omi, loyal to the Vivi app, because I think we're going to get paid off big, and people are going to be kicking themselves if they sold out this early.
Agreed, 100%. Mark Hunt says, I will always know Dan as a guy that opened up a video with his dog. Really? What? Can you link me that? What video?
Yeah, I'll find it. But basically, I did there was a period of time where I was like doing like my impressions of YouTubers, and it was like Non-Fungible Wonderful. Yeah. And he does this bit where it's like, we in nature, and then he shows like his apartment and it's outside in the woods or something. And so my parody of that was like, we in nature, and then it's my dog pooping.
I love Non-Fungible Wonderful. He's the man. Cool. He left his job for Vivi, only like rapping, making content. So I definitely wish the best for him. I love the one that you did of me, like Dashy, who are you? And then Dash, you made it as your dog. I thought that was really great. I thought that was fun. So Dan Lee, thank you very much. I'm going to do one last Patreon member shout out real quick, and then we will say final goodbyes. I love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes, I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. I will follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep. Yeah, so sorry about like the third love song in a row. Patreon shout out for y'all. Wow, John Doe's already up 200x, or already up so much x, 2x plus 400 on collectibles. Yeah, we'll try to do this more often now. I guess I'll go on your stream next time. Sure. Like I said, I want to do more podcasts with much more people. So everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I would say goodbye to Dashi. Goodbye, Dashi. All right. I love you, Dan Lee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye, guys. Dan looks uncomfortable.